All right, Capricorn, mid-January to mid-February 2022. I I pulled your oracle cards from the Pure Magic Oracle deck by Andres and Gracia, and it seems that, first of all, I wanted to mention that the two cards numbers reduce and then add up to 11. If any of you are into number synchronicities or messages from spirit through numbers, that may be of significance. But I wanted to do less of a meditation on your cards and more so just walk through them and see what comes to me. Because I'm a little stuck just with the whole message, but usually if I just go with it, it will come to me as I go. So, in terms of your oracle cards, there is spiritual phenomena here. So belief in the afterlife, belief in messages coming from the afterlife. If you've lost somebody in recent, then this could pertain to that. Not to spook anybody out or anything, you would already have probably experienced this. Most of the time, the afterlife, people don't want to, our loved ones don't want to scare us. They prefer not to. But there is a sense of believing, and there is a sense of, with your underlying oracle card, you have the mirror magic card. Someone else got this card. I believe it was Virgo, maybe. Mirror magic is about accepting ourselves at the core level, and also understanding that change is ever happening in our lives, and that there's magic in the darkness, in the things we can't see, and that there's a spectrum of everything, of light, of shadow, of experience. And it asks you to take self-care and to love yourself for who you are as a unique individual, your naked soul, and it refers to the soul as being of the same matter as of the energy of moonlight, of just pure essence. And so they're both essence cards, really, and they're both portal cards. Water and air. That's what I'm getting from that. More will come through as I go. But there's, at the core of your reading, let me get to this first. Your underlying card, you're in your element. You are, and you're coming in just as you should be, working, honing a craft, showing it off. You're doing something and you're presenting it. This very well could be with the home, because I see 4 pentacles through these 2 cards. And here we have some kind of home. So there's a planning, a taking action towards something that you want. And there's this, what is either going for you or against you, is a celebration of like a marriage. You could have had a marriage in your family, or you yourself could have been getting married, or have bought your first home, or moved in with somebody that you care about. And so this these plans were either for this or they were happening simultaneously at the same time. You might also be celebrating the steps you've taken towards something or accomplishing something in your life, a milestone of some kind. What's overlooking the entire reading, what's you're consciously aware of, is that you've gotten what you wanted, and it's in the reverse. And I know some people would say, oh, well, that means you didn't get what you want, your wish didn't come true. I don't think that's the case. I'm getting more of a cockiness about this, like it's a little slightly arrogant, or people that are seeing you, because it's a mirror. We're talking about mirrors here. We're talking about someone else looking in our life when it's in the reverse, and it's, exacerbates the card meaning. I feel like someone else might be a little bit smug about seeing this happen for you. Like that, maybe they're not necessarily jealous, but they might be, an onlooker might be very content or very happy for you. And that's what this is describing. Or maybe it's other people involved in the situation are feeling a little discontent because of whatever's going on in their life, and they can't really be all that, in tuned with your success or your accomplishment. There's stability being created here that has taken some time. Financial steps have been taken. Plans have been drawn and made. There's an enjoyment of a union, and the work the plans of the two that have come together. So it could be in business, it could be in a romantic relationship. I'm seeing a lot of psychic kind of esoteric cards. I mean, the entire cross right here is, other than the two cards in the center, are surrounded by kind of psychic energy cards. This one's, I know a lot of people don't think of this as a psychic card, but it's a sign of Cancer. I see it as a sign of Cancer when I read it. So it's a water card, and the High Priestess, and it's a lot of psychic energy. So there could be a lot of spiritual happenings around you, whether in the home or within the family. There might have been, a passing or something, and you're feeling a presence, or you're feeling like somebody's there watching you through this important moment in your life, even though they can't be with you physically. There is also, strangely, in your subconscious mind, you're having a difficult time or needing to bring two aspects of your, I wouldn't say identity, so with the Sphinx, the light and the dark, the High Priestess holds two pillars, one dark and one light. She sees the spectrum of things. It's about spectrums. And there is something to do with that is significant for you. The two Sphinx are opposing energies that we must somehow learn to harness through our willpower and determination to as a drive and our motivation to drive both forces in the same direction, to keep on the path that we're on. It's the struggle within oneself to self-control. There's projecting that out and using it as a tool of your will. So in the reverse, there's a need for more self-control, or maybe you subconsciously feel you lack the self-control to handle this new creating of plans here, creating of a home, or buying a home, taking the financial steps to buy a home. Maybe you don't feel like, you're not sure if you want it as much as you kind of, the other people in your life want it, or there's something going on there. In the past, I see you offering up a cup of love, taking action on offering love towards another, or you having been offered a cup of love, meaning like somebody really wanted to express their love and they took action on that. Excuse me. And this card is a wish fulfillment. So maybe you got your wish, and maybe you didn't get all of your wishes. Maybe you're waiting for this one last thing to come into play to kind of finish the deal. That was a lot like Sagittarius, but I feel like maybe it was a wish, and now you should feel more fulfilled than you do, but you're still looking for that next cup of attainment of the big picture, the 10 of Cups. You have the 9, but something's missing, or you have maybe you didn't get the house that you wanted, but you still got the house, or you maybe didn't get the house that you wanted and you're a little bummed, but you're still going to keep going forward with this search. The High Priestess in the future. She is quiet. She is the wise woman of the tarot. And she has one foot in this world and one foot in the other realm. She sees all, and she knows of the secrets that lie within the texts of our ancients, and it's as if if this is about psychic development, and maybe you met somebody in the past and you had this inkling that you must go for it, and people thought you were a little bit nuts because it was so soon, and or bad timing or whatever, and you went for it and created this life with this person, and now your dream has come true. It's as if there is a fulfillment of a prophecy, almost a prophecy that is being fulfilled. This is fulfillment within oneself, being fat and happy about something. I also just recently heard on someone else's channel, watching another reading by a lovely lady named Ava, who I think she's in Sedona. No, I don't remember where she is. I know she teaches yoga. She's really cool. Yeah, I've like, she said that it was and actually like a blossoming of your psychic abilities. That's what she said. So, and it's at the kind of like the crown of the reading. So I think that there is a lot of psychic. This is a psychic card to a certain extent because it's a water card, and it's about love and the action we take, or the intuitive action we take in terms of our search for love of something or someone. An offering of love, doing something nice for somebody, a message of love. And it also represents a movement. This also represents movement. So you could have taken a trip to go be with somebody. There's movement over here as well. So maybe you moved home, you moved in with a partner, you moved in with somebody that you care about, and you're feeling pretty content. It's not perfect being in the reverse. It's not perfect. Maybe you actually knew that this was coming. You just saw it before it even happened. You are guided by spirit towards this. Your advice is to know your self-worth and to be passionate once again if you've lost your passions for things, to create, and there is a balance of two divine feminine energies here. One being the zesty, fiery, fun, passionate one. And the other being a more stern, yet wise, and it's as if you are being asked to balance out your playful and creative side with your serious and watchful-eyed side. Like she's looking in her sword. I always see her as looking in that sword behind her back. Like she knows, she can see. So this also is kind of a card of sight as well as psychic sight, because using the mental agility, I'm using her mental awareness and capacity to take in information. And this is the card of the witch, really. She holds the stang. She's a familiar at her side. So there is like a very deep connection to the psyche and to spiritual phenomena this month. The inability to motivate ourselves to get the rest of what we want. I don't know what this is. Very, very I'm confused slightly. It's very esoteric. And keep going. in your, how others are seeing you, well, the devil in the middle here, you are the card of the devil in the tarot. Like, so the devil card represents the sign of Capricorn because, well, when we go way back, Pan, he was a satyr. And then eventually evolved into the Christians' idea of what the devil was. But he was really the natural world's, Fae spirit, king of the Fae. He was a spirit, an earth spirit. And he represents all things bound to the earth, all things of tangible earthly pleasure. And we know that the Puritans and the old creeds of the world really kind of don't favor those kind of things anymore. And they haven't for a long time. So he got a bad rep. And he represents the overindulgence of things and addictions, and also the structure, because Saturn rules structure. So, it was said that if you went beyond the wall of a village and into the woods, you would be in Pan's territory. You would be in the land of Pan and end up in his maze. I don't know if you've seen Pan's Labyrinth. It's a really great movie. Anyway, getting back on track. They may see you as being secretive, as being mischievous, is what I'm getting at. Pan was mischievous. He wasn't necessarily bad. He wasn't necessarily good. He was kind of, a spectrum. He was a spectrum of things. He could be kind of wicked. He could be kind of good. He could help you along your path. Sometimes you had to trick him into doing something for you. If you're, a girl on a broom these days or back in the old days. But he also represents the sign of Capricorn for these reasons. Because Capricorn is about climbing that wall, about getting to the top of whatever they're searching for, finding that hidden center of the maze, working to do the impossible, really, that other people think is impossible. Oh, you'll never get there. Well, he's also half beast and half human. Or humanoid. And Capricorn is half goat and half sea creature. When it's at its evolved state, it's a mermaid and a goat at the same time. So there is a similarity between the two. And we know that it rules authority and bondage, also power. That's why it rules authority. It's power. It's the power of, all these things that may or may not be good for us. But at its sheer essence, it's just power. It's a spectrum of power. And we choose where we land on that spectrum. We have the free will to choose. Another Pan story that comes later. The free will thing. But it's as if there's a secrecy or strategic mischievousness that they see in you, because it's almost in the cloak of night. There is this magical turn of events for you that all of a sudden you're looking really good and you are very abundant, and there's all these things, and maybe they're scared of that power. Maybe they don't understand how one person could just manifest all of this for themselves and get everything that they wanted. And maybe there's somebody that's trying to maybe take something from you in your vicinity, and or hopefully not, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's the 8th house, so it's already, if you look at it in the numbers of the houses, 8th house. There's secrecy here. There's power here. They're seeing a lot of power. They don't know where it's coming from. They think it's the devil. She's working with the devil. No. No. You just know how to communicate with the other world. You just know how to make things happen in this world for yourself. Might have taken a lot of hard work. People will make judgments all they want, but they're noticing a difference in you. They're noticing that something is going on, and they can't maybe wrap their mind around it. Secrecies. This is also a card of thinking outside of the box, of power. So obtaining power from somewhere else. Maybe they think that you did something wrong for this money, for this house, or for that career move, or like that you've done something. They're judging you. That's what I mean to get at. But you see, it's not anything new to you. You very well could be very psychic, and I do agree with Ava and what she said on her channel, that Capricorns their psychic ability is maybe portrayed differently, or not portrayed at all, because people think that they're just humdrum, get their head down in the dirt and work. But you ever do something over and over and over again so much that you get lost in your own train of thought, but yet still are managing to do everything you're doing, the multitasking or whatever, you almost go into trance when you work hard, because you have to keep your mind somewhere else to be able to make the day go by faster, And maybe in that Capricorn, you have really harnessed an ability that you're just starting to understand yourself, and other people just really don't get it. They see you as out of this world and kind of almost they may be deceptive and something, bad, or maybe you did something and they're judging you for that, and saying that you cheated and lied, and this is also random little thing. There is kind of a sexual nature with these 3 cards. The way that they fall. The 7 of Swords next to the Devil in traditional tarot, I would think, would not be good news. But because the Empress is here, she's so abundant and she's so beautiful, and I just see there being an out-of-the-box way of obtaining power, or an out-of-the-box, they see you as magical, and maybe it's scary to them. I don't know. They don't understand how you did it. I think that was in one of the yearlies too. You have to go back and check that out and see if it is. There's a creation here. There's power here. There's secrecy. There's judgment, I believe, but from others. They're just either confused or scared, or they don't know what's going on. But anyway, what you're hoping that you, with this internal power that you found in yourself, your power to strive forward and manifest what you want in your life, take the steps. You have all the tools. You're hoping to have all the tools and have all the knowledge and be able to manipulate things to your advantage, to maybe make magic in your life in some way, shape, or form. And you are almost, it's as if you're hoping to ascend from this, to see the judgment of the situation. And by judgment, I don't mean necessarily a court case judgment. I just mean how it will all play out in terms of the divine's interactions with you along your path. The call, it's as if you've heard the call of the Magi, or you've heard, maybe Spirit speaks to you profoundly, or you've been hoping for this. Maybe you're somebody who's been searching for the answers for a long time. Maybe you're just really hoping that the day will come when you get the sign that makes it all make sense. All I know is you are being very connected to the divine, and you are hearing the call of Spirit in one way or another. You are very connected spiritually to either a passed on loved one or your own higher self. You're just you are being reborn, really, at the soul level. You've just opened up to a whole new phase of your spiritual development, and people are witnessing it, and you're attaining more in life, and it's sending up some red flags maybe to some other people. Like, what's going on with this one? There's got to be something wrong here. There's got to be something going on. Just know that your advice is to create and to, this is application, and this is transmutation. Apply your power and use it to transmute the situation. So the manifestation, it's almost, we almost have all the elements of the divine feminine's manifestation powers here. The high priestess doesn't have to work hard. She doesn't have to, because she is receptive. She knows what is for her will come to her because she sees it, she believes it, It's already here for her. She don't need to look around the corner for it. It's in here. And in here. The outcome is, there's the outcome of the near future, and then there's the outcome. This is the part that really confused me, because strength in reverse, a need for strength. The Five of Rods, sometimes I see that as a battle of wits, or wrestling with somebody, kind of spats and bickering, and I also see it as kind of creative collaboration that creates change. And there might be a little bit of self-defense in it. So Venus in Leo, there is this softening of expression with this card. There is a loveliness of taming one's own beasts, taming the wildness of others, getting on people's good side. She's a seducer with her words and her sweet voice and her body language. She's able to tame the most difficult of people. And maybe you're just, if this is talking about you, you're untamable. People don't know how to. There's a wildness with this. And there's change. It's as if there's a practice fight. Like there's practice here. Also, I see this as a card of Circe. I know that it's not a pig, but I see her as an enchantress. It's enchanting. That's what this card is. And maybe in the reverse, there's a need to be enchanting, or you charming. It's a charming kind of energy. There's a charmingness, but also defensiveness. You can't win over everybody. I think that's what it is. You shouldn't want to win over everybody. There's always going to be somebody. And I think Kitty agrees with me on that one. There's always going to be somebody that's got something to say, Always going to be somebody who has a problem with something, that doesn't like you because of your religion, doesn't like you because of what your likes and dislikes, and it's kind of ridiculous, but this is my labradorite. I like to hold it sometimes when I do readings. I'm looking at the major arcana real quick. We have the Chariot, the High Priestess. There's an inability to move forward because of a lack of being able to bring two aspects of ourselves together. in the future, that changes. And you get real quiet about about what you know. You don't delve all that information out. Maybe you in the past were very free to offer yourself to people, very free to give of yourself. And now you're more reserved. And people can see, that have been in your life, can see a change, makes them a little oury. And they notice these changes and this, your aura, or whatever you want to call it. Something's happening. Something about you seems magical, or maybe you are getting into the tarot, or maybe you are starting your mediumship, practicing with mediumship, and people don't really necessarily understand that. Maybe you know things that people just don't understand how you knew that. Your intuition is really on point in this reading. There's spirit communication, very possible here. We have a spirit here. We have psychic cards all through here. We have the divine feminine about creation here. I always see this as like a kind of a witchy kind of representation of the Empress. Here, very witchy, Queen of Wands. And here we have the Earth Mother. We have you. Working in your garden, healing things with the medicine that you grew there. Taking care of animals who trust you and love you because you are connected to them and you understand them. They speak your language. People don't always get that, or they get jealous of people who, oh, she's a show-off. Look at her, able to do this and do that, and she's got all these skills, and I don't have those. You'd be surprised. Like, I'm very sad for a lot of people in the world that just can't see past their own nose, like, but yet also only focus on what's out there in front of them and not on their own crap. I never understood that in my entire life. But we all come into our own in our own time, and it's your time. And other people, even if they're being harsh or whatever they're doing, they'll have their time. Or if they don't have their time, they'll at least have their time to mature and grow up and get over themselves. You're not needing to express yourself and give yourself to everyone all the time. You're not able to do that. Sometimes you need to take care of what you need to take care of and enjoy your celebrations of what's happening in your life. Let other people, that want to bicker and bitch over here about things aren't going good for them, and yet we're going to come into your backyard and start up trouble now, because no, you know who to cut out. Like this woman doesn't take bullshit. She just done. You know your own power now, that you've come into your own power, and people are maybe not so enthusiastic about it, but you're getting what you want and you deserve. And you are connecting to your ancestral spirits. You're connecting to the earth, like you always do, Capricorn. You're connecting to your loved ones on the other side. There's messages here from spirit to you, whether you're working with spirit on a, witchcraft or, in a religious basis on the reg, or you're not. They'll still manage to come through if you want them to. and communicate with you in subtle ways. And, some people get profound, miraculous things. That's the other thing. This card asks us to believe in miracles and to know that they exist and are ever present among us in our life. So I think that you're pulling off some miracles, or miracles are happening in your life. Others may not understand this, and you're not willing to make yourself small for other people anymore. There's an inability to cooperate here, inability to charm people, or the not wanting to charm, not wanting to deal. Very interesting reading, Capricorn. All right, I'm going to let it go there. Congratulations on this reading. It's very cool, and it seems blessed. And just know that you are protected by Spirit if anybody is being unkind right now because of your good fortune in life. It's ridiculous. Oh, and I wanted to say one more thing. Sorry. I almost forgot. If you do work with Spirit, scrying, black mirror scrying would be the time. I know that we just had the Scorpio new moon, and that was always a good time for me to do it. But there is by these cards, you would have great results with that. Of course, don't do anything that you've never done before on my behalf. Really research things before you do them. Make sure you're ready for those things. I'm not responsible. Don't get spooked and yell at me for it. But anyway, I wish you the best end of January, and I will see you mid-February. Take care, Capricorn.